Hi everybody, tonight I'm making a quick pasta recipe that my family enjoys and I enjoy it because it's easy. So you're going to start with your favorite jar pasta sauce. Pour a little bit into the loaf pan on the right and the rest in the larger pan on the left. Make sure you check your labels on your pasta sauce because there can be hidden dairy in those. I learned that the hard way. For the next step, we're going to add about a tablespoon or so of olive oil to each side. I saw this recipe the first time on Facebook on Super Yummy, and it is a rich recipe if you follow the original recipe, but we're going to, of course, make it alpha friendly. For the next step, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley on each side, a couple pinches or so, just to give it that flavor, a little bit of the color. For the cheeses for this recipe, I am using a shredded mozzarella on the original side that I shredded myself. And we're just going to sprinkle that right on there. For my other side, I'll show you guys what I found that I like. And then a little bit of onion powder on top of that. And then we'll go ahead and do a little bit of garlic salt. Sometimes I use garlic powder. It just depends on how sweet the sauce is. Of course, I made a mess because that's, you know, every time. And a little garlic salt on this side too. And now the onion powder on the other side. So the cheese I've already broken up. I'm going to use this Follow Your Heart mozzarella. And I like that one for melting. I think it melts pretty well. So you're just going to lay that on the top there. The second time I made this recipe, I added way too much mozzarella and it did not melt well. I won't do that again. Now we're ready to add some vegan cream cheese. I bought the Miyoko's, I think it's how you say it. Sorry if I said that wrong. Brand cream cheese. It's definitely a savory cream cheese. I wouldn't use it in a dessert. But it wasn't terrible on crackers. It is pretty salty. So I probably wouldn't add the garlic salt. I would just do the garlic powder next time. And I did just a few tablespoons. It works best if it's softened. So I did put it in the microwave for a bit. Now this side I'm using a half a block of regular cream cheese. And it's the same way. It works so much better if it's softened. It melts better. I did not soften it ahead of time, and I wish that I would have, because you'll see later the regular cream cheese, it just doesn't quite mix as well because it wasn't softened beforehand. But we had just gotten home from tennis, and I was trying to get dinner done before everybody else got home, so time crunch. Next, I'm going to come in with a little bit of Italian seasoning on both sides and sprinkle that over the top, and that's it. It's ready to go into the oven. I'm going to bake that at 350 for about 15-20 minutes. Add a little help in this next part. My 5-year-old loves to put pasta in the water. So here it is boiling up, and I do that while the sauce is cooking. Now the pasta sauce is out of the oven, and we're going to get both of them on the counter here, and we're going to go ahead and grab a spoon and just start mixing all of the cheeses and everything, get it mixed in there really well. This is where I was talking about, you can kind of see the cream cheese. It wasn't softened in the beginning. It just didn't quite mix as well as it usually does, but nobody seemed to care. And make sure once you have all of that mixed up really well, I always trade out and get a different spoon because I don't want to get any dairy into my side of the sauce. You're going to start mixing this one, and I was really pleased with how it mixed. The cream cheese isn't quite as creamy as the dairy one, but it's still blended up into the sauce pretty well. So I was pleased. It had a great flavor to it, and it was very similar to the original sauce that I make. This is a great recipe to serve with a bread if you have an Italian bread. I do have a good recipe for a vegan garlic bread I'll have to make next time. Now we're ready to just start adding our pasta into it. I think that this is either regular spaghetti or a thin spaghetti. It is whole wheat. I try to make sure, again, that I check the labels on my pasta because sometimes they'll have milk and you may not realize. And once we get all of the pasta added that we want, we're going to start stirring it in and getting it nice and coated. I use 2 forks for this. I think spoons probably would work better, but I already had the forks out. So, but this one takes a little bit longer. Like I mentioned earlier, that cream cheese, it didn't quite melt like normal. So it took a little bit longer to get all mixed up. And that's it. This is ready to serve with whatever it is you want to serve it with. This particular night, we had it with broccoli and strawberry shortcake. So this is just the basic recipe. So if you wanted to add something more to it, you could always add ground turkey, shredded chicken to it, maybe some turkey meatballs. I actually think I'm going to do a recipe for turkey meatballs because I have a pretty good ground beef meatball recipe that would probably be easily adapted. So I'll have to give that a try. Here it is on my plate, and I hope you enjoy.